Good evening. Thank you for being here today. This is our first conference of the school year, and so I am going to talk about the Montessori method. So for the parents that already enrolled their children, and for the prospective parents, because this is also an open house. If you have any question, you can ask me during the conference. So I am going to explain what the Montessori curriculum and method is. And the way that I'm going to do it is by comparing it to other curriculums that are very popular here in South Florida. First of all, I would like to explain something that everybody knows, that the preschool education is very important. Montessori said that preschool education is an aid to life, because here during the preschool years, what we do is we help to develop the man that the child has inside, the man or woman that the child has inside. Kathleen McCartney, who is a PhD and who is the Dean of the Graduate School of Education in Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, says that children that attend quality preschool programs are better prepared to enter kindergarten. They are a lot better in phonics, a lot better in math and in socialization. And it's also proved that children that attend preschool education usually finish high school, enter and enroll in college, graduate from college, and then they are positive contributors to society. So it is well known that preschool education is a must for any child. Now I would like to explain to which curriculum I am going to compare Montessori so everybody can understand. There are some curriculums that are all more or less the same. It's the high scope curriculum. And the other one, which is, I think, in a wrong way called the modern Montessori, which is the Reggio Emilia approach. So I'm going to compare Montessori to Reggio Emilia and to high scope. The three of them are strong alternatives to traditional education because we can understand that we do not want our children to be sitting down all day long listening to a teacher. That's a traditional education. That is a big no. Children learn through exploration of the environment. They have to walk, they have to explore, they have to touch, they have to taste, they have to see and explore their environments. That's the way they learn. So the traditional education is where the children sit and the teachers has one only program that fits everybody, and we also know that children have different interests, different needs that in a traditional method of education they cannot do. Okay, I'm going to start by explaining what each one of them is. But I would like to start with the similarities of all of them. All of them are based on the Constructivist Theory. That means that children construct their own knowledge. And they construct their own knowledge through the exploration of the environment. They build their own thoughts and they build their own reality through the exploration. And the three of them, the Reggio Emilia, the high scope, and the Montessori curriculum, all of them believe that children construct their own knowledge, so they are constructivist. The three of them give a lot of emphasis in creativity too. They leave a lot of opportunities for creative work for the children. The three of them also have a prepared environment, and the teacher works in a prepared environment. The three of them give a lot of freedom and a lot of choice to the children. The three of them also do not give grades or tests to assess the children, but they give like informative packages. What the child does in class is how the parent can see how the child is developing. But the three of them also have basic differences in principle and in strategy, and in the way they view how the children meet their needs, their interests, and the way they learn. The three of them have very, very basic differences. What I'm going to do, I'm going to explain what is the environment in the three of them and how the children work in those environments, and then I'm going to compare how they work. In the high scope is based on the teaching of Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget was a Swiss psychologist that developed his theory in Montessori school. He was the director of that was called La Maison des Petites, and his observation in that preschool were the base principles that he developed his first book of language and thought in the child. It was in a Montessori school. He also was in Geneva. He was the president of the Geneva Montessori Society, so he was very influenced by the Montessori teachings. And in his theory is that the high scope is based. Reggio Emilia also was developed in Italy and was developed in a little town called Reggio Emilia, and they were the municipality's preschools, and they work a lot with the creativity of the children. The high scope has different areas in their environment, and the Reggio Emilia too. They have, and they're very similar. They have the little block area, the art area, they have the reading area, they have the little house, is called in Reggio Emilia, and dramatic play area is called in high scope. And the children they play. High scope, they play. In Reggio Emilia, they do a lot of art projects in those areas. In Reggio Emilia, those projects can last 1 or 2 weeks, and the children learn through their exploration of that artistic project that they're doing. In high scope, they're supposed to learn by playing with the different materials in the different areas of the classroom. Montessori is a lot different. Montessori has one area which is very important, which is called practical life. Practical life area is like the dramatic play area of the high scope and the Reggio Emilia curriculum, but it's in a different way. Montessori believes that the children learn by, they like to do the same things they see their parents do. And that's what they do in the dramatic play area. They play with a little kitchen, they play with a little house in high scope and Reggio Emilia. But in Montessori, each one of those skills that they are supposed to learn by playing are isolated. And they go beyond that. The practical life area is the Tai Chi of the child. That's how Dr. Wolf describes the practical life area. It's like a movement meditation, because the child in the practical area is understand that he develops the awareness of his physical abilities, and also he develops his control of his physical fine motor skills, because we have the little activities all isolated. If the child is going to start working with the spooning, he works with a little tray, and he has the little material to do the spooning. He is doing this movement, he's developing the fine motor skills, and he's learning at the same time how to spoon it. When he does the tracing frames, he's learning how to trace himself, but he's also concentrating, he's coordinating himself, and he gets a lot of confidence of the things that he can achieve with his own body. And it helps a lot the children in concentration and coordination. The other area that we have that is very important is the sensorial area. In the sensorial area, all the senses, all the refinement of the senses are isolated too. Children learn everything that has to deal with the visual, the colors, with the shapes, with the taste, with the smell. In the other curriculums, they have the block area, and they play with blocks. And if they happen to have a cylinder in the hand, the teacher can say, well, you have a cylinder that you're using now that is a red cylinder. But in Montessori, the teacher presents the lesson, each lesson that isolates a sensory skill to the child, and the child learns that. But don't misunderstand us. The children work in our classroom, but they also are very creative with those materials. After we present the lessons, they can revisit those lessons by themselves until they master that, and they can be creative. They can do whatever they want with that, as long as they are not destructive to themselves, to others, or to the materials. They can do whatever they choose to do. Children use their imagination. Then we have the language area. In the language area, each skill is also isolated. In the other curriculums, the children have the opportunity to go to the reading area and they can use books, or they can go to the writing area and they can write, and they have some, things to work with letters and sounds, but they are not in the way that Montessori is. In a Montessori classroom, each pre-reading skill is isolated. So the children work with same and different, with opposites, with rhyming, and there is a specific lesson that is given to that child. The letters, the children in the Montessori classroom is presented in groups. We have 5 groups of letters, each one of them with a vowel, and we present it first of all with a sandpaper. We trace, and then the child do the same thing, and then we say the sound of that letter, and that child starts to make that connection or develop the muscular memory of that. When he does this is an sound. And we do it by groups because after they master that group, they can do the blending. They can understand that ah and t makes an at, and then if they put a b in the front, it's bat. And then they start to understand the basic of phonics, even when they're very young. And then they go on all the way to reading. In math, it's the same. There's a beautiful area, the math area in Montessori. It's not like the other curriculum. In the other curriculum, they have numbers, and they have like cash registers and things that they can play with, and they can explore the numbers. In here also, all the skills for numeration and for decimal systems are in lessons that we are presenting the lesson to the child, and the child is learning each step all the way to the operations, as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or addition, multiplication, subtraction, division. That's the way we do it here. And then we have the cosmic area which is they call science, but in here also each skill that the child is supposed to learn for his age is also isolated. Another characteristic that the Montessori system has and the other curriculum do not have is that the child is 3 years in the same classroom. So children can have the opportunity to go as far as they can, regardless of their age. And the ones that are maybe older and do not have mastered a skill, they can master it without feeling that they are not in the appropriate group. And in that way, they can revisit and they can master everything at their own pace for those 3 years. It will depend on each person's choice. So if you want your child to be playing all day long and then learn, that's a choice. And Montessori is a little bit different. We teach skills and we are more academic. Basically, that's what the Montessori method is as compared to the Reggio Emilia and the high school. If you have any question, you are free to ask now.